I'm Gabriel Morency for Sports Interaction. Let's do this thing. Well, we knew things were going to get chaotic once the National Football League's lockout came to an end and the free agent feeding frenzy began. Well, I didn't think things would get crazy like the Tennessee Titans giving Matt Hasselbeck $21 million over 3 years. Matt Hasselbeck would have been happy to get a 1-year contract. A 2-year contract with an option, a 3-year contract. How is it that Matt Hasselbeck gets $21 million after these jerk-offs argue over dollars and cents like they're stranded refugees in the desert? Then they turn around, all right, here you go, Matt, here's $21 million for 3 years. Chris Johnson's making less than $1 million. How do you think that's going to work? Not only the Tennessee Titan fans not like this signing, Tennessee Titan players don't like it. Cortland Finnegan goes on local radio and says, what the hell are we doing? We just drafted Jake Locker. What are we signing Matt Hasselbeck for? He's okay, but I'm not scared of his deep ball. You know, it's a bizarro world we're living in right now. But, hey, it is what it is. But I can't wait for the season win totals to be posted at sportsinteraction.com. And the first bet that I will make of the upcoming National Football League season, and I've told you this time and time again, I don't have any patience in my life. I've broken toasters waiting for my Pop-Tarts to finish. But this year is going to be different, people. I'm putting my money on the Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, right. I'm putting my money on the Cincinnati Bengals to win under 7 football games. The early season win total for the Cincinnati Bengals is 7, and I don't see why. I don't think this club would win 7 games if they had Carson Palmer, which they don't, which they won't. It will be Andy Dalton out of TCU and the Cincinnati Bengals, who will probably be 3-13. Hey, they were 4-12 last year. 5-11, maybe 6-10. Fine, I don't care. That's under the original 7 that's been posted. Now, speaking of football, let's talk about the Canadian Football League. Man, the dogs have been barking loudly, and not just barking, but biting in the Canadian Football League. We've had 2 weeks already this year in the Canadian Football League in which 4 underdogs won outright. 4 outright underdog winners, man. Moneyline parlay players are crushing the book. Now, speaking of underdogs, I usually do very, very good with the Canadian Football League. This year, it's kind of been up and down. I haven't gotten into that ultimate CFL zone yet. I just don't understand how the Edmonton Eskimos keep doing what they're doing. But I haven't been on the Eskimos once this year. I've gone against them. Once I hopped in game and I boarded and I got some money back. And once again, here I am thinking about taking the underdog in the Toronto Argonauts. Listen, the Edmonton Eskimos have been a great story. Huge win for them. And people in the Ontario and Buffalo area will get that huge cheap car commercial bit. But anyways, Edmonton Eskimos, huge win against the Calgary Stampeders last week. Let's see them do it as a favorite. Let's see them do it as an 8.5, 9-point favorite against the Toronto Argonauts. Dalton Bell will be the starting quarterback. Dalton Bell's got a great arm, better arm than Cleo Lemon. Dalton Bell still has problems with his reads, and he really locks in on his first and second read and receiver. Could be a little bit of a problem, but the guy can stretch the field, and I think that Dalton Bell, now with a week of reps, will perform a little bit better than he did last week against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So you know what? Yeah, sign me up. I'll take the Toronto Argonauts plus the points. I'm a Montreal Alouette fan, and I don't say that about a lot of teams, but I am a Montreal Alouette fan. I always have been, and I always will be. The Montreal Alouettes are the only team that I've ever had season tickets for, but I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats can beat them on Friday night. And even if they don't beat them, I'll take the 3.5 points. I am a little bit concerned. Hamilton blasted the Montreal Alouettes in the preseason. And the Alouettes have this game circled. They racked up 57 points on them. Avon Colburn, former Montreal Alouette running back standout, now with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's been calling out the Alouettes. He's saying the Ticats are the team to beat, blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, here's your chance to step up and get it done. Huge game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and we all know that the Tiger Cats find a way of turning Ivor win into never win when it comes to a big game. But this Hamilton Tiger Cat team seems to be a little bit different. I'm expecting a great football game in which I will be on the underdog. As far as Saskatchewan and Calgary is concerned, this is a tough game to read. My gut instinct tells me to take the Calgary Stampeders, even though Saskatchewan is impressive, but that's because Anthony Cavillo was knocked out of the football game. All right, let's go to Strike Force. Now we've got Dan Henderson Dan Henderson and Fedor Emelianenko throwing it down. Two legends of the game here. You look at the accomplishments of both these fighters. This is really a super fight, and it's at a catch weight. Well, it's technically a heavyweight fight, but Fedor says he's not going to come in over 220. Dan Henderson's going to come in around 210, maybe 215. I'm hearing 210, 212-ish. I really liked Dan Henderson when I first saw the numbers posted for this fight. Yeah, you're getting Dan Henderson at plus 175, plus 180 in that neighborhood, and it's worth pulling the trigger, right? Fedor didn't look good against Verdum, and he got his ass handed to him by Giant Silva. But Dan Henderson isn't a 6'9", gorilla, crazy ass freak of nature like Bigfoot Silva is. This guy's a living Sasquatch, man. Really, that should be his nick. Let's call him Sasquatch from now on. Dude's huge. Yeah, he's too big for Fedor. Verdum subbed him, caught him, subbed him. Can Dan Henderson's not going to sub Fedor. Is he going to knock him out? Can he knock him out? Yeah. That's, and as much as I want to pull the trigger and take the underdog guy here, I'm having a hard time thinking about it. I'm having a hard time thinking about how Dan Henderson's actually going to beat him. When it's all said and done, I'm going to pass right now. But if anything, I'll probably take Dan Henderson and hope for the best just because he is such a big dog. I do like Mr. Kennedy. That was a crap imitation. Mr. Kennedy. He hasn't been around in a while. I don't really remember it, but I'll take Kennedy. Everyone talks about Brian Stan, the military hero and vet. And Brian Stan truthfully is. But I'll tell you what, Tim Kennedy's put years of service in the military as well. Dude doesn't get the credit that he probably should. And I think this could be a coming out party for Tim Kennedy. I like Kennedy to get it done against Robbie Lawler. I also like Tate against Conan here. And the chick fights. The chick fights. They're always the coolest fights. They're always explosive, always entertaining. This fight's insane, man. Conan opened up as the favorite. Then Tate was the favorite. And now it's gone back and forth. I haven't seen this much line movement since Scarface. When it's all said and done, you know what? I'm going to say that Tate is victorious. Well, football's back, people. We got the Arena Football League playoffs, too, but they don't post the odds until 2 minutes before kickoff. So there's not much we can do about that right now. But NFL preseason around the corner, CFL, Major League Baseball pennant chases. Great time of the year to be a sports fan. I'm Gabriel Morency for Sports Interaction. May the winners be yours.